It is Sunday, which means it is time for another weekly reading vlog. I'm hoping that I can just chill and get some reading done. Although every time I say that, I don't seem to actually do as much reading as I plan to. I just thought I'd talk to you about the two books that I am currently reading to start off this vlog. So the first one is on my Kindle, and that is The Convenience Store by the Sea, and that is by Sonoko Machida, and it is translated by Bruno Navasky. And I'm about 50% of the way through this, and it is made up of short stories, so they are interconnected short stories that all surround this convenience store called Tenderness in a small village town in Japan. And it's just sort of like a really amazing store that just seems to be better than other convenience stores, but not in a pretentious way. And the store manager is somebody that everybody seems to really love. Lots of women seem to flock to him. And yeah, each story, so I'm just up to the third story now, has followed a different person who either works at the store or is a customer, and it's their sort of just like a small snippet of their life, but in reference to the store. So that's really fun. And I think I've got three, because I'm on the third. Let me just check that out, because I can't remember if I'm on 3 or 4. It's been one of those. Kindle was really slow when I'm trying to talk about things. I'm on the 4th story, and so I've got 2 more because it goes up to chapter 6, and then there is an epilogue which potentially ties them all together. I don't know, I'll find out. But yes, so because they're short stories, so they are said, it is mentioned that they're chapters, but they are actually short stories. Because of that, the chapters are really long. So I think this one was like an hour and 6 minutes for a chapter, so I do have to kind of dedicate a little bit more time to sit down and read this. It's not really one that I could pick up and read a quick chapter and then put it down. So I'm enjoying it, but yeah, it's just taking a little bit more time. I am then reading a book that I have out from the library, and that is Thunderhead by Neal Shusterman. This is the second book in the Arc of a Scythe series. So the first book in the series is about a society where humans can no longer die naturally, and the only way you can die is to be gleaned by a scythe. But there's 2 apprentice scythes, Citra and Rowan, but there seems to be some kind of corruption, something's happening within the scythedom that is suspicious, and this one follows on directly from that. I have made a start, but not much. I've read 2 chapters, so I am on page 27, and yeah, I'm going to try and get this done because I think it needs to go back by the 19th. So I've still got time really, but it'll be good to get this well on the way because I really enjoyed the first one, so I'm looking forward to it. So those will be the books that I'm starting the week with. I don't have any major plans. I am hoping I can get a short story read at least, and yeah, just see how the rest of the day goes. I wasn't expecting to, but I have just finished reading my book. So I have just finished The Convenience Store by the Sea, and I rated it 3 stars. I think it's more of a high 3 stars, maybe like more of a 3.5. It's really cute. As I said, it's short stories, which I didn't realise when I went into it, but they do kind of interconnect. So it's more, each chapter focuses on a specific person, and I guess it's similar in style to Before the Coffee Gets Cold, where each chapter is a different person and their story. And it was good. I enjoyed it. It was very much slice of life, and a whole bunch happened, but each individual story had some sort of like lessons to learn, and I just thought it was really cute. So yeah, I gave it 3 stars. The last couple of chapters were quite quick to get through as well, so that was quite good. And then there was an epilogue, so that was quite nice. What I didn't realise was that it was then setting at Christmas time, so that's a bit weird because it's still really warm here, but it's not overall set at Christmas, so it doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It has a cat on the cover, but there's no cat in the story in any of them. So that was sad because I guess it doesn't necessarily have to have a cat, but it would have been cute if there was a cat in it. But yeah, I quite liked this, and I will definitely pick up more. I think this is a series. I think there's a few of these. I would be interested in picking up some more of these and reading them in between the other books that I have going on. So luckily, because it is the last day in May, this now counts as a book that I've finished. So I haven't actually done my wrap up on Instagram. So I have already done my read and wrap up for YouTube, but my Instagram one, so I can squeeze this in there. So that would be nice. And I will be picking something else to read on my Kindle, but I'm not sure what I want. And I think I'm getting kind of overwhelmed with the number of books on my Kindle, so I think I'm going to go through and have a look. And I've never done this before, but I might actually sort them into folders and start working through, because I think I've got over 300 unread books on my Kindle, and I just would really like to get that number down, because I'm just buying books on it and not really ever reading them. So I know there's a lot that I've had on here for a very, very, very long time. There are lots that I got for free when I first got a Kindle when I was 18 years old. I had a Kindle for my 18th birthday. I used to get the free books. I used to just find all of the free books and I used to just download them, even if I wasn't interested in them. And I'm just thinking, at this point, realistically, I don't think I'm ever going to read them. So if I know for definite that I'm never going to read them, I think I'm just going to remove them from my Kindle and just see what's left, because I've got 389 unread books on here, and it's just taking up mental space, I think. And it's difficult because then I'm struggling to know what to read, because I'm not visually seeing them all the time either. So there's that, and then I do have Kindle Unlimited, so I end up using that quite a lot. So yeah, I think I'm just going to go through and see what's on there, and I might start doing a monthly Kindle TBR alongside my physical TBR, and picking, maybe even if I do a small number, maybe I pick 3 books a month that I have to read on my Kindle minimum, to try that aren't included in Kindle Unlimited, that are just on the Kindle. Then I might start getting that number down, just because I think it would be really good to do that. So I have just been sat here doing some editing, because there's a video that I need to get live that I've been editing for a few days, and then potentially I might start just loading in the media content videos for this vlog, just so I can get a little bit ahead. But I thought I would come and give a little bit of an update on what I've been reading. So I have been reading Thunderhead by Neal Shusterman. I'm on chapter 8, page 75. So it's really difficult, because anything that I say about this really is going to be spoilers for the first one, such as names, characters, things like that. So it's still setting everything up. And in the last book, we got extracts from a side gleaning journal, whereas this we now are getting sort of passages from the Thunderhead, which is kind of like technically like an AI government type situation, and they control everything, so they're always watching, they're doing everything, so they sort of keep an eye on and enforce the law for normal people. And then the scythes, they don't really do anything with the scythes, they have their own system, so any corruption, any issues that are happening in regards to scythes are dealt with by the scythedom, so it's separate. So it's just quite interesting to get a little bit more insight into the Thunderhead, what exactly it is, how it's become what it is, and how it's going to play a part in this book. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm not too far into it. And then because I finished my book today, which I'm actually really surprised that I even did that, I didn't think that I was going to get that finished today, I have picked up another Kindle book, and I have picked up Three to Get Deadly by Janet Evanovich. This is the third book in the Stephanie Plum novel. So I bought loads of these from a charity shop, and I didn't realise that number 3 was missing. So this was years ago. So years and years ago, I then just picked up the third one on my Kindle. It's been on here for ages, and recently, because I'm trying to work through series that I've been reading that have been on my shelves for a while, and they're taking quite a lot of space, I read them and then I donate them, so I'm not keeping them. So this is one that I needed to read on my Kindle because I don't have a physical copy of it. I thought I'd pick this up and then I can continue on with the physical books and start getting those down and out to free up some shelf space. So the Stephanie Plum novels are about a woman called Stephanie Plum, and she loses her job and ends up getting divorced, and she needs to earn some money, and her cousin owns a bond agency, so she then ends up going to work for him and becomes a bounty hunter, but she has no experience. She actually doesn't know how to do this at all. So it's her kind of figuring out how to do it, getting into trouble. There's a guy who is also a bounty hunter, and he's like really dark, mysterious, and really good at his job. And then there's also a cop that she knew growing up who's also very handsome and very mysterious. So there's like all this shenanigans, and they're just really funny. And these are actually book series that I read in my teens. Me and my sister used to get them out of the library and read them. Like we used to go to the library at least once a week, and we'd both get them out and then we'd both read them. So they're just really nostalgic for me. They're really sort of like, I think this one was written in like 97, so even when I was like a baby basically. So it's just, yeah, they're just really fun, and they're really quick to read as well. I think it's about 300 and something pages, but to read this means that I can then continue with the physical books of this on my shelf for the series, to then clear shelf space that I'm desperate for, because my TBR shelf is out of control. And although I am looking hopefully to get some new shelving for my birthday next month, I'm still not sure if there's going to be enough room for everything. So I really do, and also then I don't want to be putting loads of books on the new bookshelf that I'm not planning to keep. I want to have as many of those out the door as possible ahead of time, so that then the new shelves are just books that I want to keep, and then I can start filling it up that way. So yes, those are the two things that I've been reading, and I'm going to get myself cracked on with this video because I have been editing it for a few days now and it's still not done. And then I will probably head up to bed and do some more reading. The weekends go far too quick and I'm mad about it. So it is now Monday, and I did a little bit of reading last night, and I've done a little bit more this morning, and I have been reading Three to Get Deadly by Janet Evanovich. I'm on page, when it loads, I'm on page 74 of this. I'm 18% of the way through, and they're just really nostalgic for me. It is a series, and I think realistically you probably could read it out of order because it does kind of recap things, but you would miss out a lot of information if you did that. So I'm not sure it's really recommended. But this one, she is trying to find a guy called Uncle Mo. So Uncle Mo is a guy who owns a sweet shop in the neighborhood. Everybody loves him. And he was found speeding and then carrying a concealed weapon. So he then had to go to court. But he failed to appear at the court appearance. And so she has been tasked with trying to find him to reschedule his court date and get him to go. And everybody's really annoyed at her and saying, oh, he's a saint, he would never do anything wrong. And she's like, okay, like, can you give me some information about him? Does he have any friends, any family? Does he have a girlfriend? Like, all this. And nobody seems to know anything about him other than he works in this sweet shop and he's kind of nice to people. But he seems to have disappeared and she is trying to find him. But she just gets into lots of ridiculous situations and ridiculous scenarios, and it's just quite funny. So I'm finding it's just easy to read. And as I said, I have read this, but it was a very, very long time ago, so I don't really remember everything that happened, but I kind of remembered the vibes of it. So I'm looking forward to getting into this more. I haven't read any more of Thunderhead, but this I think is going to be my focus for today, because I do want to get this finished so I can get it back to the library. So yeah, those are the two books that I am still working through. Oh, hi Rosie. You can see Rosie just about. Oh, Rosie. Hi. That was a good start to the check-in. So I have been reading more of Thunderhead. I'm now on page 225, chapter 12. So I haven't actually done as much reading as I was hoping to do. I was working late tonight, so I didn't get to do as much reading, but I still got to over 100 pages, so that's quite good. It's still sort of setting things up. So there's a new character in this, Grayson, and this is sort of, it's still following the two characters from the previous book, Citra and Rowan, but it's also focusing on the Thunderhead a lot more, which is really interesting. We are getting snippets on that. It's feeling very AI and kind of signs of the times, actually, which is kind of insane. So yeah, it's like obviously this the Thunderhead is this all-knowing thing. It's constantly watching, and there's like a database and you can talk to it, and this guy is like, yeah, the Thunderhead is my only friend and he helps me and he talks to me and he does this, and I'm like, yeah, that's not healthy, that's not normal. Have real friends. So yeah, I am enjoying it still, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it will go. But I'm very tired and I think I'm going to get myself into bed shortly and hopefully read another chapter or two, because the next chapter is pretty short, so I'm sure I can get that done. I haven't read any more on my Kindle today, so I think I'm just going to leave that. And I feel like Mondays are always the hardest because it's back to work and I have a lot to catch up on, and then I had to stay late today, so there's that. And also the weather today was actually really nice because it was just raining, and I love the rain, but I wish I could have just been chilling and reading and not working. But it's definitely cooled down, which I think has helped. I'm hoping that we're going to stay with some cooler weather for a bit, because I do not do well in the heat. I'm still reading Thunderhead. I'm 147 pages in chapter 14. I'm getting really into this now. It's getting intriguing. Stuff's happening. This new character is doing some things. It's so difficult because it's obviously as part of a series, so I don't want to say too much and spoil it. Super intrigued on how this is going to go. It's really interesting to read more about the Thunderhead and exactly what it is, what it does, how it all works, because it's separate from the Scythedom, so they don't tend to, like, well, they're not actually allowed to interact because they are separate. Rosie's just going around meowing, so you might be able to hear that. Yeah, they are completely separate, so they're not allowed. So the Thunderhead do not have any rulings over the Scythedom, and they're not allowed to interact. And there's also in this something called an unsavory, which is essentially because this society is so perfect. People don't need to work because they get an income, but there are incentives to work, but you can survive and do whatever you want. You don't have to have a job. And there's all, like, obviously you can't die. There's things are meant to be perfect in air quotes, but then it's like talking about how certain people fundamentally just love to rebel. So there are people that are marked as unsavory, and they have to, and it's like quite interesting. It's like, oh yes, they have to go and have an appointment with like an officer, and and the Thunderhead just purposely makes them wait around for no reason and ask them annoying questions so that they have something to be annoyed at. And it's just really interesting to sort of learn about this. And it's like, oh, these people are rebelling for no reason, but I'm sure it's going to become important. But yeah, it's like, it's just showing that even though society is supposed to be perfect and everything's supposed to be amazing, that is not always the case. And obviously we already established from the first one that there seems to be corruption within the Scythedom anyway. So I wonder what's going to be happening with the Thunderhead. I am sat in this spot because I have been editing. So I had a video that I needed to make. I needed to finish editing so that I could schedule it, that I had been doing in little bits and bobs, and I just needed to get it done. So I finished that, and I have made a start on editing the vlog just to give myself a head start. So I thought I would just quickly pop in and say I am reading more of Thunderhead. I'm 179 pages in. I'm on chapter 17, and yeah, it's still getting into this. I'm really intrigued. It's the second book in a series, so it's difficult to say too much. But Citra is potentially in a little bit of a pickle at the moment, so there's that. And I'm really intrigued to hear about the Thunderhead and how it seems to think that it's so perfect and amazing and people should love it, and it's just like getting glimpses into what it is, and it's feeling very much like AI and ChatGPT that we have at the moment. So that's just really intriguing and a little bit scary, but I'm still really enjoying it. I'm finding that the chapters aren't too long, so it's quite a quick read, and I'm really enjoying it. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to getting into it some more. It's just been very busy, so work is kind of crazy at the moment, so I didn't even get to read any at lunch today, so not a whole lot of progress. But I think it's nearly 9, about 10 to 9. I'm going to do a little bit more editing on this video, and then I think I'm going to get myself upstairs and into bed, and I think I'm going to read on my Kindle. The book's just fallen off the table, and I don't know if my bookmark's fallen out, but at least I can watch this back to check what page number I'm on. But I think I'm going to pick back up 3 to Get Deadly. I haven't really read any more of this since I last checked in, maybe like a page or 2, but I'm just thinking this is just fun and easy and a little bit mindless, so it'll be quite fun to get into. And yeah, it's just so nostalgic. I remember reading these with my sister when I was a teenager, so I'm having a really good time with it. Every time I see Rosie chilling like that behind me, I just think, why was I not born a cat? I have been reading more of 3 to Get Deadly by Janet Evanovich, the Stephanie Plum novels. I'm 143 pages in, and I'm still really enjoying it. It's just ridiculous. Stephanie is currently hiding from the police officer that she knows, Morelli, because she thinks that she is going to get taken into custody because she was knocked out and somebody was killed while she was knocked out, and she thinks they're going to try and pin it on her. She's also having shenanigans with her car that keeps breaking down. She bought a new one and it's broken. And yeah, she's getting help from Lula, who is an ex-sex worker who now works in the bond office. She's meant to be helping with admin and filing, but she loves to go and help Stephanie with looking for Uncle Mo, which he has not yet been found. He is missing. But yeah, it's just ridiculous and hilarious. They were written in the 90s, I will say that. So some of the language that is used in some of the scenarios they don't really hold up. I'm not sure these are books that I would actually recommend people who hadn't read them before to read, or if you are going to read them, just be mindful of the fact that some of the language used, some of the scenarios aren't what we would deem acceptable today. They're not too bad. The word sex worker is not used. I have changed that because it is appropriate to do so, and things like that. So I see there is a little bit of a situation around that. But even so, she's not painted in a negative light at all. She's amazing and she's hilarious. So I just think, yeah, just take with a pinch of salt if it is something that you are going to read and you've not read it before. But no, I'm really loving it. It has like lots of mini chapter breaks. I'm finding I can read like a page or two really quickly and obviously just like pick it up, put it down. But then that does mean I'm not making massive progress. So I'm 36% of the way through, but I'm hoping I can just keep going with it. I haven't really read much more of Thunderhead, but that's still chugging along as well. So yeah, just a mini update, and also Rosie's having the best time right there. So I got some new slippers, and honestly, it feels like Christmas because that's usually when I get new slippers, but I'm actually obsessed with these. I feel like you just get to a certain age and you just slippers are your whole life. I have been reading more of a 3 to Get Deadly. I'm 56% of the way through. I'm on page 228, and yeah, I'm still really enjoying it. It's just hilarious. It's ridiculous. Obviously, minor spoilers, I won't say anything too much, but it is very tongue-in-cheek. There is a part where they find a dead guy in a closet, and he falls on one of them, and then they're like, "Oh, he stinks," and like, yeah, he pooped himself. I don't know why, it just really made me laugh. So ridiculous. And yeah, it's the third dead guy she's come across, so there's definitely something going on, which is not great. Yeah, I'm still really enjoying it. I'm having a good time. As I said, it's just nostalgic for me. That's why I really like them. They are very much a sign of their time. But I just remember when I read these as a teen and just being absolutely obsessed. And Ranger, who is the other bounty hunter in this, just thinking he is so cool. He is like typical what you would imagine about him, to just wears all black, drives a cool car, takes no shit, and that's just exactly like what I remember from this. Him just seeming so cool, and then Stephanie trying to prove herself and always having to ask him for help. So yeah, just been really fun to remember about it. Yeah, I took some books back to the library today. So I took back Scythe and I took back Emperor the Vampire, because both of those needed to go back, and I had to purposefully, and I'm so glad I did this, so I didn't take my library card, because you don't need your library card to return books. Just like a scanner thing, you put them on and then it returns them, so you don't need your library card. But I was like, I purposefully didn't take it because I would have been tempted to pick up books, and they've got some really good new books in there, and like my library is quite a small one. It's only a teeny tiny little thing, and there's some like brand new books in there that nobody has even checked out yet. So I think what I might do a month when I haven't already picked my TBR. So maybe like June. No, this is June. Maybe like August is actually what I was going to say. I might, because it's summer, I might do like a solely like TBR from the library. That might be quite fun. But yeah, there's loads of good stuff in there and I really should do it. But I also then have a horrendous pile of books that I need to read. So we shall see. But yeah, I definitely want to be using the library a lot more and getting books from there, especially when they've got such a big collection. I think I've put a little clip of it, but I've got some new slippers today and I'm feeling very good about myself. But slippers are the one thing that I wear every single day, because I work from home and I live in my slippers. I am that person. That is all of the update. I'm going to go and have a shower because I'm just looking at how horrendous my hair looks. right now. I'm going to go have a shower, get into bed, and read some more of this and try and get it, good chunk of it done, because it is also Wednesday already, which is crazy. Like, it's the end of Wednesday, and the only book I finished is the one that I finished on Sunday. So I need to get a crack on, because I'm not even halfway through Thunderhead either. I'm on 202. Why do I keep doing that? I'm on page 202. So yeah, I really need to get a crack on with this as well and have something finished as well before the end of this vlog. So yes, I'm going to do that. I don't even know where the day has gone. I'm on my lunch break and it is quite late in the day. It is 2:30. I'll got to go back to work shortly, so I thought I would give you an update. I have been reading more of Three to Get Deadly. I've only got about an hour and a half left to go on this, so I'm looking forward to getting done. I'm on page 212. I'm 78% of the way through, and I'm going to get this finished today. I don't care that an hour and a half to go on it. I can get that done, which will be really good. I'm looking forward to that. It's still hilarious. She's still looking for Mo, and she is getting into all sorts of trouble. There was a dead body that, I guess it's minor spoilers, but there was a body that fell off a car and they're driving down like a motorway, and she decides we can't leave it here because it might get run over, so they end up putting it in the truck and driving it around town until they then take it to the police station, because she's like, I need to figure out what we're going to do, because we can't just leave it here in case it gets run over. So her thought process, yes, let's put it in the back of our car and drive it around with the legs sticking out the back, mind you, so people figured out that there was a body in the car. But yeah, there's that, which is ridiculous. And she talks to a hamster like it's a person, which I love. Rex the hamster. And yeah, I feel like we're getting close to wrapping up, so I feel like soon we're going to find Mo and there's going to be a big reveal, because there's been some things happening in this, and then it will wrap up hopefully quite nicely until the next time. So yeah, as I said, I'm going to get this finished today, but work has been kind of insane, so I haven't really done anything else. But if I could get this done, I will be happy. And then I haven't really read any more of Thunderhead, so once I've done with this one, I'll move over to Thunderhead and make that the higher priority. So yeah, I'm sure I'll check in with you later. So I ended up on a call with my sister for a few hours just to catch up, because we hadn't spoken in a little while, and we always like to do a craft while we do it. So I finally finished one of my cross-stitch pieces. Ignore the fact that it's not centered, because I will be trimming it down. But yeah, I just finally finished this last cassette, so I need to figure out getting a frame for it, and I've been working on that for ages. And before that, I did manage to get a little bit of reading done. So yeah, I managed to do a little bit of reading of Three to Get Deadly. I'm on page 393. I've got like 10 minutes until I'm finished with this, so my plan is to just get this finished. I'm really tired, so I'm going to get up into bed. I'm going to read the last 10 minutes of this, and I will let you know my full thoughts on it tomorrow first thing when I get up, because I want to get in bed and read it, and I just don't really feel like updating once I'm done. So yeah, that's my plan. So I'll have this done, and then I will probably go back to Thunderhead and read that and pick something new for my Kindle. So yeah, not too bad considering I have not done as much reading tonight, but yeah, all good. And I will catch up with you tomorrow, which is Friday already. Unsurprisingly, I did manage to finish Three to Get Deadly last night in bed, so I really just had the tiny last little bit to finish that was basically wrapping everything up. And overall, I gave this 3 stars. I think I did really enjoy it. It's very much a nostalgia read for me. I think when I read it the first time, I probably gave it a 4, possibly a 5. But I think because I've evolved as a reader in general, I think a 3 is fair. And I think when I read it, I didn't even have Goodreads, so I can't even check what I would have rated it previously. But I think I'm going to stick with the 3-star rating that I've given it now. And yeah, overall I enjoyed it. As I said, there are some things in this that I think don't really hold up today, but it was written in the 90s, so I think there has to be some understanding in that. The last little bit, it kind of, wrapped everything up, gave the reason of what had been going on, and everything seems to be okay for now. But I know that once Stephanie gets the next assignment, all the shenanigans will start again. So yeah, I'm glad that I finished it, and I will be picking something up on my Kindle at some point. I think for now, seeing as it is Friday and it's the last day of the vlog, I will just be focusing on Thunderhead. I'm now 227 pages in. I'm on chapter 22. I'm still not quite halfway through, so I would like to get to at least halfway through this today, but we will see how I get on with it. But yeah, I'm just going to focus on this for the rest of my day. And I have spent most of the evening reading Thunderhead. I've just got to part 5 and I'm 323 pages in, so I'm over halfway now. I'm not sure exactly how far, but you know, I am definitely over halfway, which is really good. I knew I wasn't going to get this finished before the end of the vlog, but my aim was to get to 50%, so I'm happy with that. I have just read something that's just happened at the end of part 4 that has shocked and disgusted me, and I'm scared. I actually don't even know what to say. I am shook. But yeah, this one feels like it was going a little bit slower. This feels like there's lots happening. Obviously they've introduced a new main character, and there was a lot introducing him and obviously following him for a while, and I wasn't sure how I was feeling about it. I was enjoying it, but I don't know, it just seemed like it was just ticking along. There's a lot of that, but now I feel like a major bombshell has been dropped. I'm struggling to form the words, but I'm so intrigued, so I'm definitely going to try and read more of this and find out what on earth is going to happen with that. Yes, this is how much I've got left to read, so there's that. But it is almost 10 o'clock, so I think it's about time that we wrap up this vlog for the week. So yeah, a good amount of Thunderhead done, so I'm pretty impressed with that. And then I have finished 2 books this week. So the first one was The Convenience Store by the Sea. I gave that 3 stars. It was not what I expected, but I enjoyed it. The short stories one, it's not what I thought it was going to be, but I did enjoy it. I thought it was really fun. The only downside personally for me was because it was short stories in chapters. The chapters were very long, so it was meant to be an easy read that I could pick up, but because of how long the chapters were, that didn't quite work out. But I managed to finish that early because I'd already started reading it last week, so that was great. And then I did finish 3 to Get Deadly, and I also gave that 3 stars, and that was really a nostalgia read for me. I read that in a couple of days. I did really enjoy it, but it was mostly because it's something that I remember reading when I was a teenager. They're very tongue-in-cheek, very funny, it's a bit silly and goofy, so that was good. And it also means I can then continue on with the physical copies I have of the rest, not the rest of the series, but some of the series, because that series is still going. I think it's up to like 32, so I don't have all of them, but I do have some. That'll be good to continue on with that. And yeah, that's it really. I'm pretty impressed that I managed to get 2 books read this week, considering I've had quite a busy week. And pretty much it. You coming up, Dottie? And just as a special, come on, as a special, she's just knocked the book off, little note, today is Dottie's birthday. So Dottie is 6 today, aren't you? On June the 5th. We're gonna say happy birthday. She's had some dreamies for her birthday, so she's happy girl. And there was an Amazon box that she's been sleeping in. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. And thank you so much for watching this week's reading vlog. And please do like, subscribe, and let me know anything about what you've been reading this week in the comments. And yeah, I will hopefully see you in the next one.